Hey everyone, I'm Rick Beato. In today's Everything Music, we're going to talk about major and minor Add9 chords and lines. It's coming up next. Okay, we've talked about this to a certain degree in other videos, but I want to kind of drill down a little bit on this and talk about how you can use these specifically in ways that you wouldn't normally think to, instead of just in their root position. Now obviously you can use things in their root position or in inversion, but over the same tonic. For example, if I play a C Add9, that's C, D, E, G. Okay, so it's as if you're playing a pentatonic scale and you're leaving out the sixth, but it's the first, second, third, fifth notes of a major scale. Okay, and a C minor Add9 would be the 1, 2, flat 3, 5. So it's the first, second, third, and fifth note of a minor scale. Let's say Aeolian scale, C Aeolian. Now these can be played. You can play a C Add9. You'll hear them in. So I'm playing the different arpeggios there as chords, and I can play them. Single notes. Okay, you can do the same thing with minor Add9, and so on and so forth. Now they can be cool to be used in rock songs if you're playing things like, okay, let's say I'm doing a 5-4-1 and I'm playing G major. G major, F major, C major, but I'm playing G Add9, F Add9, C Add9. Okay, where this gets really interesting is when you start using these in your chording and in your single note lines over different types of chords. I'll give you an example. If I take a C minor Add9 chord, C, D, E flat, G, and I put an A in the bass, it becomes an A minor 11 flat 5. It's A minor 7 flat 5. Okay, so that would be the 2 chord in the key of G minor. Well, the 5 chord would be a D7 altered chord, some kind of D7 flat 9, let's say. Well, there's an Add9 triad that would work great over that. There's a couple major Add9s, and you can do minor Add9s over that. If I do C minor over this, over the A minor 7 flat 5 chord, and I move up a minor third, okay, so that would be up to E flat minor, and I do the minor Add9, it gives me the flat 9, sharp 9, major third, and sharp 5. So in a minor 2-5, if you take the minor Add9 chord based off the third of the 2 chord, the A minor 7 flat 5, I'm playing a C minor Add9, and then I go up to E flat minor Add9 over the D7 altered chord. It gives you a very cool D7 altered chord, okay? So that's one little concept there. You take the minor Add9 chord based off the third of the half diminished chord, and then you move that minor Add9 chord up a minor third and use it over the dominant. Now you can also use major Add9 chords over dominants. So I could do the same thing, and then I could use, on the A minor 7 flat 5, I'm using C minor Add9. On the D7 altered, I could use A flat major Add9, okay, which gives me the flat 5, sharp 5, flat 7, and the flat 9. So that's a flat 5, sharp 5, flat 9 sound. Okay, so check it out. 2, 5, and then I'm going to go to G minor for the 1 chord. Then went to G minor 13. That's an instance of using a major Add9 chord over a dominant chord. One that's outside of the what you would normally think. Well, there's another one in that scale as well, and they both come from the altered dominant scale over the D chord. So the A, B flat, major Add9, both work over D altered. B flat major Add9 has the sharp 5, flat 7, root, and sharp 9. So if I'm playing, if I just put the root and third in the left hand, B flat major Add9. Here's A flat major Add9, B flat major Add9, and then so that formula for dominant chords is if you take the major Add9 chords based off the flat 5 or the sharp 4 from the dominant. So if we're in D, A flat or G sharp is the flat 5 or the sharp 4. If I build a major Add9 chord off that, you can use that as part of your altered scale. Okay, you can use that sound. You can also use one built off the sharp 5 or the flat 6 on it. Okay, well those are a whole step apart. If you know the one that's built off the flat 5 and then just move that up a whole step, you can use that for improvising. So lines, you can make up lines over these two, right? So I used a C minor Add9 on an A minor 7 flat 5 chord. Then I went to an A flat major Add9 over D, which gives me a D altered, and then I resolved to G minor. That was a minor 2-5 in the key of G minor. Now, a lot of these are really cool for more advanced sounds. For example, if I want to get things like a Lydian augmented sound. G major Add9 over E flat, it gives me, you've got the Lydian augmented, so it's major 7 sharp 5, same thing. G is the third of E flat. Then you have B is the sharp 5, B natural, because B flat would normally be an E flat major chord. Sharp 5. Major 7 is D, and then Add9 on the G is the sharp 4. So it's really a sharp 4, sharp 5 sound. Really, really cool sound. Okay, so that is the major Add9 chord built off the third of a major 7th chord will give you a Lydian augmented sound, a true Lydian augmented sound, because it gives you the Lydian, the sharp 4, and the sharp 5 both. So if I wanted to, let's say I wanted to transpose that to the key of C. Okay, what is the third of the key of C? On a C major chord, the third is E. So if I use an E major Add9 over C, it will give me a C Lydian augmented sound. So, let's say I'm doing a 2-5-1 in the key of C. So my 2 chord, I'm going to play D minor 7. I'm using F major Add9 for that. So it gives me, or I could use C major Add9, F major Add9 over D minor to give me my D minor, which gives me the flat 7, the 3rd, the 4th, and the 5th. So then when I go to my G7 chord, I'm going to go up a flat 5th, okay, to D flat and play the major Add9. So it's going to be like this. So it's going to be D flat. So it'll be like this. 2, and then I've got D flat major Add9 over the G altered chord, and then I'm going to use E major Add9 over C, which gives me a C Lydian augmented sound. So I've gone from Dorian to D. So I've gone from D Dorian to G altered dominant to C Lydian augmented for my 2-5-1 progression there. These things are really cool if they're they can be used in film scoring in different ways. In linear writing, they can be used. If I take, for example, Dorian, if I'm playing D Dorian, I play C major Add9 to F major Add9. That gives me a Dorian sound. So I got two different major Add9 chords, actually three. G major Add9 is in there as well that are in D Dorian. There's three major Add9 chords. Okay, so here's the F major Add9, C major Add9, and G major Add9. You'll hear McCoy Tyner, people like that, using these things. A lot of these because they're out of pentatonic scale, but I'm talking about not using pentatonics. I'm talking about strictly staying with those specific structures. Here's a couple examples of players using major Add9 arpeggios in their solos. Here's a little etude that I put together that demonstrates how to use these major and minor Add9 arpeggios in lines over chord changes. That's all for now. Please subscribe here and at my Everything Music Facebook page if you haven't already, and tell your friends about it. Thank you. I'm Rick Beato.